If a TVT explodes on the screen in high octane and there's no one there to see it, does it make a sound? I sure hope so, because our red Terran player is Bunny. Bunny is a Korean pro from Kazi Gaming, now ranked 42nd in the world. His opponent in the blue is quite possibly the most popular player in all of Starcraft right now. That's because he's the #1 player in the most populous country in all of the world. Oh, Bunny's gonna grab an early gasp. Well, I can't help but notice his opponent in the blue is not. I guess he just didn't have time! Time from Team Newbie is currently ranked 30th in the world. There is a ton of eyes on Time ever since he became the youngest player to ever make Grandmaster on the Korean server. Time's gonna initiate his barracks before he grabs his first gas. So we've got fractionally different builds as we start this game off. Bunny's refinery's already complete, and he immediately puts 3 SCVs on it. Time's pulling in more minerals early. We'll see what he does with it. Their all-important barracks, however, appear to be progressing at about exactly the same rate. One other detail of import, it looks like Bunny's gonna send off a scout. No sign of scouting by Time so far. It looks like once again he's gonna try for the extra minerals. And the way those minerals are queuing up, we're likely looking at an early additional command center. Bunny's halfway across Nightshade already. This might be more than just a scout. He might be looking to execute a block. Bunny's gas is now underway and his barracks is going to complete first. He's going to start himself a Reaper. And he's going to put his SCV in position to drop that command center. But here comes Bunny. Oh, he's looking to try to spoil this party. He's trying to claim the real estate. Oh, Time just goes and builds it farther back. Very decisive by the Chinese player. He immediately cuts his loss and gets the job done. Oh, but now Bunny wants to try to assassinate the builder. That's dangerous. Time's Reaper is just about out. Bunny knows it. He's getting out of dodge. Time's SCV survives and it's getting back to work. The Reaper does pop and it does go after that SCV. Meanwhile, Bunny's got his own command center on the way back home and a Reaper as well. Bunny's scout's gonna try to rendezvous with that Reaper for protection. But Time's Reaper's actually given up the chase, having made the conservative decision to protect his ramp. So in the net result, it appears that Time gets a slightly faster expansion, but it is built in the wrong spot. Bunny started his reactor and factory and is getting that second gas. Time is going to mirror those decisions just a few seconds behind. In exchange for that, Time has squeezed out an extra Marine for defense. The Reaper's the sum total of what Bunny has right now. But since he hasn't actually scouted, Time feels the pressure to make that defensive bunker. Bunny's gonna execute the infamous reactor switch, and somehow impossibly the buildings fly through one another. They really need to fire that air traffic controller. But they'd have to hire another one, because Bunny is starting a starport. Once again, the Destiny Cloudfist 111 build remains supreme. Time agrees and he starts his starport as well. But he's keeping the reactor on his barracks and only making a single Hellion. Bunny's making 2 and they're just about to finish. You know, Time may be the better known amongst our 2 players, but based on their recent match history, it's Bunny who's the dominant player. The last time they met, Bunny won 3-2 and then 2-0'd him the time before that. But maybe it's finally Time's time. Oh, Bunny's showing signs of early aggression here. He's taken his Hellion count up to 4 and he started a Liberator. Time's gonna seize the moment and fix that pesky positioning error on his command center natural. Forced error, I should say, since Bunny was behind that. Time's also going to grab his 3rd gas and potentially take a refinery lead. As it stands right now, though, Time doesn't have anything to deal with a Liberator, other than maybe a handful of Marines. He is, though, starting up a Raven. And as you've probably heard, a lot of the TVT talk right now is all about the role of the Raven. Ravens have been pivotal as of late, and a few people are starting to question whether it's starting to dominate the matchup. Bunny's Raven's about to fly out of the port. Oh, and the barracks is going to lift and build a new tech lab. Bunny's gonna lift his starport and he's gonna claim the old one. That's gonna open up Banshees and Ravens. He's got the resources for both, but it's gonna be a Raven. Meanwhile, as that Liberator flies ever closer to Time's base, Time starts up a Cyclone. He's gonna need that in a big, big way. I love the way Time's arrayed his defense. He's created a kill zone in between his bunker and his cliff. Anyone trying to get up the ramp to his main is gonna come under heavy, heavy fire. But here comes Bunny with 8 Hellions. He can afford to lose a few and still have one heck of a run by. Which is exactly what he's going to try. He goes for the kill zone and that's our first blood. But he reaches the natural and his flamethrowers are out. Meanwhile, it's a pretty pink circle of death over Time's main. Time's pulling his SCVs, but he's lost 11 so far. The Raven's contributing auto turrets and they are cleaning up the Hellions. The probes have been pulled at the main. Time's minerals per minute is completely crashed. The Cyclone rolls up to guard the main, and the Liberator knows it's time to leave. Time is down 9 workers. But with Bunny's Hellion Force wiped out, Time does have the larger army. Bunny knows it, and he's scrambling to build a tank back home. He's also going to try to add a bunker at his natural, and then grab 2 refineries behind it. Time's got his Cyclone and Raven out on the map. He's trying to hunt for that Liberator. But he has missed it. Bunny's swung it around to the other side of his base. He's lost 12 workers already. He can't afford another pink circle of doom, because that's exactly what Bunny's looking to do. Oh, Time's sending out his own Liberator, but they don't see each other. He misses it by 1 hex. And Bunny's Liberator transforms into defensive mode, but there's nothing defensive about it. Oh, Time with the perfect SCV pull. He loses nothing. Bunny transforms back into fighter mode and pulls back. Time's got a Viking out now as well. He'd love to put an end to that Liberator. Oh, but now Bunny slipped his Raven inside on the north side. He casually drops an auto turret and sets it to water sprinkler mode. Time has to pull his SCVs again. Time has had enough. He's taking his larger army and he's driving to Bunny's base. He can't afford to be slowly picked apart by Bunny's harass. Such as this Liberator, which is back for the 3rd time. Another terrific SCV pull by Time. And this time that Viking is not gonna miss the Liberator. 1 shot. 2 shots. And it escaped again. Time's gonna scan Bunny's defenses. I think he likes what he sees, and he's gonna try to get vengeance with a Liberator of his own. I'd describe his liberation zone as an Argentian blue. Bunny gets up the lower ramp unopposed. He wants to siege up on that bunker. Bunny's SCV pull is delayed, and there are 4 kills for that Liberator. The all-important tank count is equal at 2 right now. Interference matrix is gonna be critical. Bunny does have the extra Raven, but they're pinned back because it's Time who has the Vikings. Bunny gets his Cyclone to work on that Liberator. That Liberator has 7 kills on it so far. He needs it gone yesterday. Oh, Time's gonna change tactics and try to take a position on that cliff. Bunny's done a decent job of keeping most of his buildings away from the edge, but his factory does look to be in range. Bunny gets his first 2 Vikings out, but Time's already got 3 more coming to reinforce his original 2, and they're gonna get vision over Bunny's main. Oh, Bunny's got liberation attack number 4, and this time Time's not watching. If it pulls some of Time's Vikings away, that Liberator might save the game for Bunny. It's got 9 kills. Oh, Bunny's preparing his Vikings mid-combat. That and auto turrets might let him somehow survive this onslaught, but when the dust settles, Time owns the sky. Oh, this game has been nuts. Oh, Bunny's gonna land his Vikings, but the low ground tank with 1 hit point left does them in. I think Bunny thought that tank was taken out. It is now. Oh, Desperation Hero SCVs attacking Marines. Thanks to that auto turret, they're actually winning. Now they're going after that siege tank. Can they get it before it unsieges? No! Oh, those poor brave lads deserve so much better. It's nothing but carnage. Both players barely have any units left. Bunny's reinforcing Marines rock into siege tank fire. They're decimated and he needed them badly. Bunny's just about to finish stim and combat shields. Time's only starting stim, so Bunny will have a bio advantage. But it's meaningless if Time's tanks keep him pinned inside. Bunny's trying to repair his Raven so he can bring it back out. And he builds a tank and sieges it up on his high ground. He needed that badly. Now it's Viking versus Viking. This will determine who rules the sky over Bunny's base and gets vision. It's gonna be close! Oh, it's a tie! Bunny's Viking explodes first, but still gets the killing shot off. And Bunny's Stim Marines are gonna clean out the tank position. And eat some tank fire if they get too greedy. But Time sees the writing on the wall. He's pulling back. For now, the offensive is over. And Bunny comes out with a microscopic edge in supply. He is 5 SCVs ahead. And it looks like he's gonna immediately go for his 3rd. He's already got it built, so he's gonna go ahead and land it on the low ground. On the other hand, Time is just starting his 3rd, and he's not building it on location either. He doesn't want to stretch his defenses until he has to. He is though going to start powering up with a couple extra barracks. Bunny's going to catch that right away with a scan. Bunny now has a medevac to go with his Marines. He's going to load it up for a potential drop. +1 is going to finish for Bunny shortly. He's going to have an upgrade lead. 8 stimmed Marines has the potential for a lot of damage. But Time does have a lot of air defense going for him, and he's positioned it at his flank. Oh, it does look like Bunny's picking the wrong side to try his drop. It's going to be tough to steer past 3 Vikings on patrol. It's interesting that Bunny's lost more units than Time, and yet he's still ahead. He's either out macroing his opponent or just making sure he's losing cheap units. Speaking of macroing, Time's adding another 2 barracks. And he immediately adds reactors to the 2 that just completed. Time's definitely looking to get in the Marine business. He's finished stim, but a scan's gonna show him that Bunny has the same level of production power. Oh, here comes that medevac. But the East Wing is heavily guarded. Bunny's gonna try to boost past. That's not gonna work. The Vikings focus it right down. Oh, Time needed that so badly. And Bunny started an armory. He's going to try to extend his upgrade advantage to his mech units. With 3 bases to 2, Bunny's just pulling in more resources than Time. The attack that Time was prepping for never actually came. And as a result, Bunny's getting an extra 1,000 minerals per minute. Time's going to fix that. He's going to go claim his 3rd. And that's when Bunny is going to push out. Either his game sense is perfect or he's just plain lucky. It's 25 Marines to 8, and it's Bunny who has the medevacs. He's also queuing up minerals. This push might actually be a cover so Bunny can get his 4th up. Yep, he's picked a location. Time is swinging east to make sure he can defend his 3rd. Bunny drops his 4th on location. Meanwhile, Time completes floating over his 3rd and lands it, putting an end to his long-distance mining. Bunny's attack force is now swinging eastward. He drops a scan looking for opportunity, but what he finds is that Time's defenses are well deployed. He's not going to see the command center, though he can probably guess. And he's not going to see that a sensor tower is going up, though he'll figure that out soon enough. And it looks like Bunny's actually beat him on the sensor tower. His is already up. Time's Viking patrol's up to 6. Air superiority is pretty much the only thing Time's got going for himself right now. He should be able to hunt medevacs very well, but without Ravens or Liberators, he can't quite leverage his air superiority as much as he needs. Bunny's decided to back off for now. He doesn't need to risk an engagement when he's 9 workers and 3/4 of a base ahead. Looks like he's decided to build up a bit of an air force of his own. He's going for Vikings, but he's definitely playing catch-up on that score. Speaking of catching up, for the moment at least, Time's now mining at the same rate. He needs that. Otherwise, these peaceful times just cause him to get further and further behind. His other choice is to attack, but without special circumstances, it's hard to see how he gets a favorable engagement. Bunny seems to have satisfied himself with map control. Looks like he's just going to sweep back and forth while he upgrades and maintains his lead on bases. Time is just cranking out the Marines as he should, while Bunny's going to convert his 4th into a planetary. Oh, it's a 1v1. Who's got it? It's going to be close. No! I'm not sure if that was a legit tie or Bunny cheated by bringing his army in. Regardless, Bunny's going to keep a Marine at Time's 4th base location. If Time ever tries to expand there, Bunny's going to know about it, and he's going to be ready. A further scan from Bunny's going to keep tabs on Time's position. That's one way he still loses this. If Time can surprise him and suddenly show up at his doorstep, that's a game changer, so it's worth it to Bunny to keep investing in scans. Time's going to try pushing out with a smaller, more mobile force. He's going to kill Bunny's scout at the 4th, and then he's going to pull back. He's got to know he's just tripped an alarm. Bunny has indeed scrambled his forces to check it out. This could be a ruse. Time could be trying to pull him out of position. Let's see how it plays out. Nope, Time's just pulling back to his 3rd. I guess he just wanted to snipe his scout and take a quick look around. But it seems to have gotten Bunny pretty excited. He's coalescing his forces into one big glomp. That's the technical taxonomic term, by the way. It's a Terran glomp. Time's scan's gonna be perfect, though. He's gonna see the glomp. Everybody's scanning. Nobody wants to walk into a field of tanks that are all sieged up. Ah, and here's Bunny's mobile force. He's gonna sneak out there and see what he can get done. But does he appreciate that Bunny's 4th is a planetary? I don't know if Stim Marines are gonna be enough. Well, that's academic, because Bunny's pulling back to defend. Time's definitely outmatched. He's headed for the hills. Ideally, like, hills that are really far away. Don't mess with Bunny's glomp, man. Bunny's near max. I think he's looking to trade. Fortunately, by now, Time's not too shabby. He's even managed to get ahead on tank count and Marines. And if he can just hang on a little bit longer, he'll actually catch up on upgrades. It's impressive that he's done this while down a base. Technically, Bunny's starting his 5th. Time's not showing any interest in expanding. He wants to fight. It's a double-maxed army clash. All 120 Marines stim. Bunny's Raven drops interference matrix and anti-armor missile. Time has a bunch of tanks in the back that are not able to contribute. Time's Vikings are gone. Bunny has the air. His medevacs have to flee. Everything has to flee. But Bunny can't pursue unless he wants to eat a ton of tank fire. It's a stalemate for the moment, but Bunny leaves in slightly better shape. Who will have the money in the production facilities to restore their army faster? Time's looking to hold his entrenched position. Bunny knows where to send his reinforcements. Scans go down. They have to know. Neither can afford to lose sight of the other. Time is going to try to leapfrog forward. It's going to give him the high ground. He's caught up on upgrades, can't even maneuver his way to a victory. Bunny's paying for vision with scans, but the air still belongs to Bunny. He's able to force those medevacs back. The air situation could be a problem for Time. Bunny started making Liberators, 3 at a time, and they will definitely be coming at Time in no time at all, if you have time for that sort of thing. Speaking of the player of Einstein's 4th dimension, he's stimming down the ramp. He doesn't care about Vikings. Ooh, but he does care about tanks. Bunny drops another interference matrix on a key tank and destroys it. Time is now hurting very bad, but he has set up his fourth behind this. That stunt cost him his marine count, but he still has the tank advantage. Time's other problem is Bunny's about to hit 332 upgrades. That'll be another window that Time will have to hunker down and find a way to survive. And the Liberators are popping out. Time doesn't have the Vikings to shut it down. And his marine count isn't what it was. Oh, Bunny's gonna hit Time's fourth before it becomes a planetary fortress. Fantastic game sense by Bunny. Time has the group hug, but that's a lot of Marines. Time's rushing everything over to defend. He's done it, he's driven Bunny back and saved his command center. Ooh, he cannot afford to lose a base. Meanwhile, Bunny's getting very serious about his Liberator tech switch. He's got 3 already and 3 more on the way. As they say, give me liberty or give me death. There were clearly a lot of Starcraft players back in 1876. Time also has 2 Liberators now, by the way. You know, the Revolutionary War would have gone a lot different if they had Liberators back then. But you know how it is, the North and the South were far more interested in getting Banshees. Time has now successfully turned his 4th command center into a planetary. Bunny's trying to do the same thing with his 5th. Their earlier bases are largely mined out at this point, which means the newer the base, the more strategically important it becomes. And just because it matters to me, I'm going to mention we're about halfway to the Crimson Zone here. Long way to go, but if they keep remaxing, this game could have potential. For those of you who are new to this channel, when a game hits that benchmark of 500 kills, we declare it the Crimson Zone and there's much rejoicing. Ooh, multi-layered liberation zones. Oh, those tanks are taking heavy fire and they can't do anything about it. Bunny's applying serious rock, scissor, paper pressure onto Time. He does have a Thor to punch back, but only one. Now that Bunny has those Liberators, he can really start to leverage his sky domination. His siege tanks have a position on that planetary, and then he's using the Liberators to zone out Time's main force. Time realizes there can't be a rescue. He's going to try to counter. He's going to throw himself at Bunny's 4th. But that's a heavily entrenched position. Oh, and Bunny's going to try to pin him in there. Oh, this is all bad. Time's going to need a micro like a boss. He's got a good concave. Bunny drops anti-armor missiles on Time's tanks. There's carnage everywhere. Time's supply is sinking. Time double strikes the G key. Bunny is your winner in a fantastic TVT high-octane game. Whew! I can't wait to share this one with you guys and hear what you have to think. Don't let me bias you with my take. First off, Bunny obviously took a slight lead in the early game with his successful Liberator harass. Anytime you get to use the same Liberator 4 times a row on your opponent's mineral line, you know things are going well. That put pressure on Time to respond, making him hit Bunny's bunker and high ground position back at home. I actually think Time's attack was excellent. I just love these TVT scenarios which feature so many different units all at once. Time came within a hairbreadth of breaking Bunny like 7 times. For example, if he had finished off that low ground tank like he thought he had when he landed his Vikings, he would have cleared out Bunny's last tank and essentially secured a toehold over Bunny's main and his production facilities. It might have been game. But instead, Bunny survived, and then later managed to pull his SCVs out to defeat Time's Marines backed only by a landed Viking and an auto turret. When those Marines arrive at the pearly gates, they do not want to admit they got owned by a bunch of worker units. That's how close that game was. But once Bunny held, he was a full command center ahead. He was able to leverage that into a growing lead. Time held back on the greed, fearing the retaliation. Since we had the bird's eye view, we could see that what was really called for was another attack. Time almost got back into this again, but Bunny was just ahead on upgrades and ultimately ahead on composition when he transitioned to mass Liberators. Watching those last few minutes, it's easy to forget how close this game actually was. Bunny closed it out in a dominant fashion. So let me leave you with this. Live life, because nobody wants to die, and hold position. To continue your StarCraft journey, Nova advises you to click the video in the upper rectangle. But Kerrigan warns you to watch your 6 and click the video in the bottom rectangle. Or you can stimpack your StarCraft experience. Subscribe to Zugzwang StarCraft. Just hit the circle. From my base to yours, Zugzwang out.